the tape for this, our main event of the evening. The champion is 29. The challenger is 38. Everything else is virtually identical. Our main event is ready to start, and here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, with Chairman Francisco Aguilar, Executive Director Keith Kaiser, Commissioners Skip Avancino, Bill Brady, TJ Day, and Pat Lundvall. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Junihiro Kamicho, Chris Lee, and Patricia Morse-Jarman. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer and jiu-jitsu fighter, holding a professional record, 33 wins, 5 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil, presenting the challenger, the former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Anderson, the Spider Silva! And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a wrestler and a grappler, holding an undefeated record, 10 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Baldwin, New York, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Chris Weidman!
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Let's touch gloves. Come on, ready to do this.
The chance of USA for the champion, Chris Weidman. The challenger, the greatest of all time, Anderson, the Spider Silva.
Ready, good.
Here we go, again. Silva in his familiar yellow trunks, blue trunks for Weidman. Anderson's hands are up.
The question is, how long is Chris going to stand with him before he decides to try to take him down?
Absolutely.
And Chris throws a front kick to the body.
Speaking of kicks, that's what we're going to look for from Anderson.
And there's a
Can
single.
he stop it?
And he's got him down.
Silva looking to get right back up.
And this is what Chris wanted. Wanted to get a hold of him quick, and Anderson's right back up to his feet. Nice knee by Anderson.
Anderson can be very dangerous from this position with Chris's head low.
He's dangerous from every position, especially when he's fresh, early in the fight. He pushed some weight. He's got to look out for those knees. That's where Anderson excels. Those
the Rich
vicious
Franklin fights.
And he's so good in that Muay Thai clinch as well. Oh, he hurt him. He hurt him already. Anderson's in
Looking
trouble.
to hurt him
He's in
and finish
trouble.
him. Looking to finish the fight. Chris Weidman all over Silva. Can he do it again? Or can Anderson survive?
He survived, but he got rocked.
Wow. Chris was smart not to punch himself out there.
Well, he realized that Anderson had him in his guard. He wasn't able to really generate power. He's looking for an Ezekiel choke.
Can he get it, Joe?
No, not yet. I mean, not from where he's at, but the fact is he was stopping the breathing of Anderson. He's got to look out for Anderson's guard, though. Anderson has a very good offensive guard, an underrated guard.
Look to throw the elbow.
Anderson's looking for an arm triangle from the bottom. Very difficult to get. In fact, Jeremy Horn is the only guy that I've ever seen get it. He got it on Chuck Liddell and put him to sleep with it in Chuck's first loss in the octagon.
Anderson trying to weather this early storm.
Anderson lands a short punch from the bottom.
But he takes one from Weidman.
Well, Weidman has got to get out of the guard because in the guard, he's using the can opener, and what he's trying to do is get Anderson to open up his guard by putting incredible pressure on the neck like that. The only way to relieve that pressure is for Anderson to release his guard and scoot his hips back.
Long-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the Nogueira brothers, Anderson Silva.
Weidman
Elbow.
lands a good elbow there. It's very difficult to land hard. There's a solid shot.
And another.
That one hurt him.
And this is what you said earlier, Joe, that Chris was going to look to do. Take him down and beat him up.
Take him down, beat him up, hurt him. Anderson now goes with a body triangle. It makes it very hard for Chris to breathe and even harder for him to generate power in his shots. It's more of a defensive technique, though. As long as Anderson has that body triangle on, he's not going to be offensive from the bottom as far as submissions go. Big shot by Weidman. Weidman hurt him.
From the bottom, Silva.
Good elbow from the bottom by Anderson.
90 seconds on the clock here in round one.
You know, we've seen this in several Anderson fights, especially the Chael Sonnen fight, the second one, where he gets taken down fairly easily in the first round, but in the second round, his opponent can't take him down.
In the first fight, Chris Weidman took him down.
Again, he's using that can opener, and then he lands a short punch. And he hurt him again. Ooh, good
Anderson
shots from the bottom. Good hammer fist from the bottom.
Joe, as you mentioned, Anderson was rocked early, but he has obviously recovered, and he's staying active on his back. 45.
Someone's cut. I see blood. It may be from Weidman.
Could have been one of those elbows, right?
Yeah, it's tough to tell.
30 was a Silva elbow.
Oh, big elbow by
there.
Chris.
20 seconds.
Now Weidman's going to stack him.
15.
Yeah, it's Weidman's blood. It's coming from his nose.
Big shot at the end of the round. Watch out.
Yeah, you see that punch that connected. That hurt him. No doubt about it. Look, you see his eyes close and his body gives out. And there's always a question when a guy gets knocked unconscious the way he did in his last fight. It takes a long time to recover from something like that.
The Phenom!
And that's the monster waiting in the wings for whoever wins this fight.
How good has he been this year?
That's a scary face.
Yes, it is. Started calling his fights when he was 19 years old. Pedro Rizzo. Amongst those in the corner of the former longtime champion. 6 years, 8 months, and 22 days. Anderson Silva was the middleweight champ.
Look, Anderson Silva got hurt bad in that round, Mike, and we could see it in the replay.
Chris Weidman has been the champ since July 6th. Round two. And Weidman hurt him when they were clinching, which is something we've seen utilized so dynamically by the Spider. Good kick.
There's a first. Inside leg kick by Anderson. Very fast.
Anderson's hands are up still. I mean, one of the most dynamic knockouts in UFC history was Silva on Vitor Belfort.
You know, one of the things that I'm impressed with about Weidman, and I was impressed with in the first fight as well, was that he knows when not to come in.
Right.
He knows distance very well. He might not be as fast as Anderson, but he's very good at gauging when Anderson's going to move forward and he gets out of the way. And he makes Anderson think because of that. Whereas other guys have stood flat-footed in front of him and allowed Anderson to get his timing down and launch shots. It was a good shot to the body by Weidman. He checked it.
No.
He hurt himself.
He hurt his leg, and it is all over. Anderson hurt his leg when the kick was checked, and Weidman remains the champion.
He broke his leg. Anderson fractured his leg. You can see his leg hanging loose now. Wow. He broke his leg. Unbelievable. What a crazy ending. It went limp. It snapped right in half. Wow.
Much like Corey Hill years ago, Joe.
Very much like. What a shocking end.
Wow.
He snapped his leg. Wow. It went completely limp. You could see it dangle.
Unbelievable.
Let's take a look at it again. We'll see if we can see it snap. Watch this. He checks it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's about as obvious as it gets. And as I told you, John Danaher, oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
John Danaher had said after the first fight that was what concerned him about his performance, was that he wasn't checking leg kicks. Well, he checked that one. What a shocking turn of events.
Wow. And Joe, in the end, we have an odd ending again to Chris Weidman defeating Anderson Silva.
Well, not just an odd ending, Mike, but that might be the ending of Anderson Silva's career. That is an incredibly difficult injury to come back from. That's a serious fracture of the leg. I mean, it's going to be difficult for him to walk again for a long time. Snapping your leg in half like that, it's a very serious injury, and this might be the end of a great mixed martial arts career. At the very least, a long time recovering. We remember how long it took Frank Mir to come back from his motorcycle injury where he snapped his leg. And Frank came back, was never himself again for years. It took at least a year and a half, 2 years after his return till we start to see the real Frank Mir again.
And Corey Hill, who's not a great champion like Anderson Silva, but yet a mixed martial artist, he came back. It took a couple years, but it didn't last very long. It was so tough, especially mentally, to throw a kick again.
Unbelievable. What an unexpected turn of events.
Wow.
I mean, that's only the second time we've ever seen that inside the octagon, Mike, and to see it from Anderson Silva. And very fascinating to see it when we were talking about that very thing being a problem in the first fight. The Danaher recognized that. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris Weidman seriously worked on his leg checking because he nailed it perfectly.
He has done it again. Chris Weidman defeats Anderson Silva with the official decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 16 seconds of round number 2. Due to injury, the winner by TKO, and still the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Chris Weidman.
All right, I'm here with the winner and still champion, Chris Weidman. Chris, after your first victory with Anderson Silva, I talked to John Danaher inside the octagon. The first thing he said to me after I said congratulations was he didn't like how you were getting hit with those leg kicks. Obviously, you worked very hard on checking those, but did you ever expect that this could happen?
You know, I'll be honest with you. First of all, I just want to say, no matter what happened in this fight before, what the result just was now, or after, he's still known as the greatest of all time. Lots of props to Anderson Silva. I wish him the best, and God bless him. What was the question?
The question was, how hard did you work on your leg kick checking, and did you ever expect that this could possibly happen?
You know, Longo, obviously, that was the #1 thing that I got hit with in the first fight. So I did work a lot against guys with good kicks, and was working on checking him a lot, and I did actually think that if he's going to go that hard on kicks like he usually does, if I catch it on my knee, it could really hurt him. But it's still crazy how that happened.
Unbelievable. It's only the second time we've ever seen this inside the octagon. Now, you hurt him bad in the first round. Let's take a look at that. You were inside the clinch, and you caught him with a nasty right hand and dropped him. His eyes rolled back in his head. His body went limp. What were you thinking at that moment?
There was a point where I was just like thinking, ref, stop the fight. But that's what I was thinking.
You were hoping he would stop the fight.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd stop the fight. I was hitting him a lot. His eyes were still kind of in the back of his head for a lot of those punches, but he recovered well. I just want to give thanks to Jesus Christ. Without him, I wouldn't be here. He gave me the strength to work as hard as I did to get to this spot. So thanks to my team. If you're in Long Island, Matt Serra, BJJ, Huntington, in Levittown, and then me and Longo just opened a new gym, Power MMA. Come by.
Now, Chris, this is obviously an incredible turn of events. The first fight was incredible. You became the champion. Has it sunk in now? Do you feel, after that incredible fight, and now this fight, do you feel that you will now get the respect that maybe you deserved from the first fight but didn't get because a lot of people thought it was a fluke?
Who knows? Probably not. Because, you know, I'm so new in this sport. I'm 11-0 now. People can't fathom the fact that I'm coming in here and beating guys. So I understand where people are coming from, but slowly but surely people start believing in me.
Listen, Chris, outstanding performance. Congratulations on retaining your title. Can't wait to see you perform again. Chris Weidman, ladies and gentlemen.
It's hard to watch. We feel for Anderson Silva, but it's a contact sport. And unfortunately tonight, Anderson Silva broke his leg throwing a kick at Chris Weidman. But an unfortunate ending, but the belt remains around the waist of the All-American.
It was an unfortunate ending, but, you know, look at that. Chris Weidman rocked Anderson Silva really badly in that first round. From the clinch, he got there. As Anderson was trying to throw a knee, he landed a punch first and had Anderson badly hurt. When a guy gets knocked out the way Anderson Silva got knocked out in their first fight, there is always going to be the question of how they recover. A devastating knockout like that, where Chris Weidman was playing basketball with Anderson Silva's head, bouncing it off the canvas like that.